this is a one-man install. It can be done. I'm showing you how to do this. When assembling this thing, I read the instructions. They say they do not recommend taking this staircase apart. And I'm not going to disassemble the whole thing. What I'm going to do is just these 4 bolts here and the other 2 over there. They're just a simple through bolt holding this ladder extension to the basic piece of the frame, where the last ladder section that you see is actually part of the sprung mechanism, which I do not want to mess with. That's like high tension stuff going on. But this is going to make this a lot easier for me doing this a one-man install. They also recommend 2 people. I've done installs in their entirety, completely assembled, back in the day, 30 years ago, when I was much younger than I am right now. But this is a one-man install. It can be done. I'm showing you how to do this. Again, the manufacturer does not recommend this, and we're going to see how feasible this is to do what I'm wanting to do, because it just really seems like a no-brainer to take this apart. With this assembly here, again, all very easily removable parts. I'm going to leave that bolt in so this end doesn't go crazy. I'm going to go ahead and remove this other side. So this is what I have now. I have the one unit that I can easily handle putting them up on the straps that I've already put up on the ceiling. So that what I have is from the hinge, here's the other section. Again, that's like trying to handle a limp rag up on this. So I'm counting on that saving me a lot of trouble. But what I did is I took a number from the hinge down here, from this hinge point right here, leaving this intact. I also got these nuts that hold all this spring that's in tension right here. I got all these in the way. So I measured from the hinge to the nut there, and I have 1 inch with about 1/8 of an inch of play from the top of that nut there. That's where the first ledge is. It's going to sit along this edge here, 1 inch beyond the edge of the rough opening in the ceiling. Then I measured from the hinge again, but down to the other side. And I took that number in 2 places. This one is at 53 3/8, and I set the ledger there at that one spot. But I also took another number, and that was 53 7/8, and that's to the overall, and that's where I measure to my blocking. If that blocking is closer than 53 and say, or 54, then this frame is not going into that rough opening that's been prepped. This will clear the block that holds it in place, but this needs to clear the framing on the inside. So that's where I'm at now, is getting ready to set that in place. Will it stand on its own? Yes, it will. If it does, it'll fall against the wall and it'll be really bad. I said that I installed that other strip, but I did not. But I will install that. I have 2 marks up there at that number, 53 3/8, for to set that strip in place. I want to get one screw started in this, so I don't have to hold everything at the same time on the mark. So that's going to get me what I need there on that mark. There's my mark. I'm going to get lined up on both edges. This is pretty lightweight. Those two 2-inch screws, that'll give me an inch into the framing through the 1/2-inch plywood. OSB actually. 5/8 sheetrock, but that'll give me about 7/8 of an inch into the framing above, and also hold this nice and true where I can start shimming the sides back beyond here, because I have other hinge points where I got to start getting screws, but it'll also let me lower this door down, so I can reach up inside it without all that ladder stuff, extra ladder stuff in the way. All I really need is just to get this to pull down, because then I can work the other end and get that fastened in place. Because it's got to drop down about 1/2 inch still, but I believe I can get that once I get this opened up. I'm going to start getting this squared in place. If I find some way to get a straight edge in there to say whether this thing is straight or bowed. Doesn't look like I'm going to have that option to do it from up there. So I'm going to have to sight it from down here. And it works. But that is, right now that's straight. So I need to just raise this up one more time to see if it's not shifted on the frame here or over there. If I've got a good even line where this door hatch closes and I got a good clean line, being this is good and straight, and I got a good clean line there that tells me it's set square with the opening. I'll have a good relief or reveal to attach the trim to close up this gap around the perimeter. Gotta be careful of those arms. You want to make sure they're leaning back. This is a curious one. It's like this frame is like, this side's nice over here with about a 3/8 of an inch line all the way through, so I'm setting square, which is good news. But over here it's like, Something is not centered in this, but I can at least start fastening and figure out what the problem is, if it's even a problem to reckon with. You see I'm shoving the thick end of one shim in there first, and I'm taking the pointed end of the other overlay it to finish filling up the space. Sorry about that block that's in the way, but I got to get those in snug. And the only way I can get these in because I still have that cleat on the underside. Over here, I still have that cleat there, and I can't shove the shims all the way through to get them tight, so I have to send them down to the cleat, and then finish them off with a second shim, which also keeps everything square, because both shims, thick to thin on each of them, will allow it to well, anyway, be square. I just noticed I didn't have a microphone in here, so I guess the cell phone microphone is the one that's doing this. But also, screw the hood out. I got to get 4 different attachment points through here. Now, what I get on the glows, I'm also using power bolt so I don't split it. If it splits, it's bad news. Then I just ruin the whole staircase. Alright, we're going to get 2 more in there in the same fashion that I just done. I got the upper end secured. Now I'm going to close this to see if it's going to have that same decent margin. If not, I can still adjust it. But that's looking like we say this. So I can shim this end and remove this cleat and that cleat over there, and then get this thing in 100%. They're calling for 4 points on either end, 4 points on all sides. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put the thin end in from the bottom, because now I have access. Here, I still have to drop it on top, but I'm going to wait to get these fixed in place first and secured. That way I can pull these off and also put the shims in the exact same way I'm doing here. One from the bottom, thin end in first, one from the top, thin end in first. And I'm getting a good tight backer that's parallel, because I have both tapers working with each other, not against each other. What I'm going to do is loosen up this screw here in the center and shove it up in there, so it'll start that frame going this way. So that lose my fastening. And I'm going to also pull out these shims and send this that way over there tight. Okay, that's tight to that side. I needed to move it over about 1/4 of an inch because I had a 1/2 of an inch of room on the other side. Okay, I don't have any screws sticking out to get in the way. Test loose. And it's working like it should. The sides are. This is working like it should now. I have a good gap on either side. I'm going to check this for straight, see if it's not bowed. And that actually wound up being good and straight still, so happy with that. I got shims in the way down here, but I think I can do it this way still. And I got to bring the center in just a little. Test for close one more time. And if it closes well, then I'll cut all the extra shims off, so we're good there. And I'll also shorten up the string so it doesn't dangle like right down here. This is just to get it in there so I have something to pull on. But it looks like we're good to go. I can remove that cleat. So with that, now I'm going to take this and use this as a straight edge and mark it down and set it down, and it's resting on the floor down there. And now I can mark this intersection right there. And with that, I can now measure from this level down here, and I need to leave a 27.5 inch piece. This pair right here, this side, that 1.7.5 from where I want it below, is what I want to below. And so from 1.7 inches down to this end over here, where I make my angle, that's 1.7. I will mark these on the side so I can see them again, because I'm just going to give this a roughest cut if you ever want to see them. I'm going to keep that mark long so I can cut it nice to the mark. Break it off the rest of the way, so get the finish forward part. And this should be getting me really close where I need to be. And that's what I'm looking at. Now, that's really getting close to where it needs to be. I'm going to use a block that's about 1 inch wide, or I can use a 3/4 inch thick wide. I'm going to use that to mark the floor so I can get a nice even cut across the floor to get it set down right, to get it to cut up to that mark that I've measured at a 27.5. very comfortable, very nice. I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna grab my palm sander and I'm gonna sand off the bottom smooth, so when this goes down and touches to the finished floor, it doesn't have any rough surface. Even though it's wood on wood, it's going across the direction of the floor, and it might literally rub it the wrong way still. So I'm gonna give it that little bit of a finishing off sanding and ease the corners and stuff, get rid of the splinters from the saw, and this will be done. Bound to turn and not have an extension cord for this, but I got it sanded down. It's good and smooth all the way around. So this is where it needs to be. It's operating well. I'm pleased with the way that's turned out. Well, folks, this has this disappearing staircase wrapped up. It's been done. Did it as a one-man operation. It's very well secured in place according to the instructions. Actually, I got a few extra screws in there. And they call it for nails or 3-inch screws, and I opt for the higher end of it. So it's all very well shimmed. The doors operate very well. It's also engaging with the floor very well. So again, if this is something you like watching and hopefully you'll learn something how to do it. Again, they recommend 2 people. I was able to do it myself by detaching that lower set, because when that's all folded up and trying to reach over top, I think that could be the case with anybody. Reaching over top of that extra folded up stuff, which I remember as a younger man, going over top, that was difficult. So getting that out of the way, just simply reattaching it later, was a very, very nice trick for me to happen across. So the first time I've done it that way. Anyway, again, like and subscribe if you like to see what I'm doing. Thank you. Bye.